the NBA trade deadline has passed, but that does not mean players are done switching teams. Multiple players are still expected to be bought out and could join new teams. Others were waived and could end up being claimed or sign elsewhere as a free agent. Here's a look at 10 players who could find themselves on new teams either by being bought out, claimed off waivers, or by signing as a free agent. 1. Carmelo Anthony. Could Carmelo Anthony finally end up back playing in the NBA? Things may be looking up for him. After being held out by Houston and not playing for months, Anthony was traded to Chicago and waived. Now that the trade deadline has passed, he could sign with a new team. The Los Angeles Lakers have an open roster spot and could be a possibility for him. Anthony can still score points, but the way his last two stops have gone, OKC and Houston, we wouldn't expect him to add much help to the Lakers. His defense makes him a liability. 2. Robin Lopez. Lopez has been a candidate to switch teams for months. Lopez has wanted out of Chicago, where they're not really competing and instead playing for a high draft pick. He reportedly wanted a buyout earlier in the season, but the Bulls wanted to see if they could trade him first. Now that they were unable to trade him, a buyout seems inevitable. Lopez has long been linked with the Golden State Warriors, who could use some big man depth. The 30-year-old is averaging 6.2 points per game. 3. Enes Kanter's stay in New York turned disastrous this season, and the Knicks will only be too happy to part ways with him. Kanter fell out of the team's rotation and was benched several games, which he did not care for. He turned heel and got the fans to back him, leading to chants for him to play during games. He was becoming a distraction the team didn't need, especially now that they have DeAndre Jordan. David Fizdale wants players who play good defense, and Kanter measures up short in that regard. Kanter is still a strong scorer and rebounder though, so he should have plenty of suitors now that he's been waived. 4. Wesley Matthews. Matthews is likely to be on his second team in a short span. Sent to the New York Knicks along with DeAndre Jordan and Dennis Smith Jr. in the Kristaps Porzingis trade, his stay in NYC will be brief. He is working on a buyout with the Knicks and is expected to join the Indiana Pacers, according to Shams Charania. The veteran is averaging 12.8 points per game and shooting 37.4% on threes this season. Indiana could use the help with Victor Oladipo out for the season and Tyreke Evans not getting the job done. 5. Wayne Ellington. Ellington is another player who will probably be changing multiple teams in a short span. Ellington was dealt to the Phoenix Suns along with Tyler Johnson from Miami for Ryan Anderson. He is being waived by Phoenix, which will give him the chance to join another team. The Detroit Pistons, Oklahoma City Thunder and Houston Rockets are among the teams believed to have interest in adding him. Ellington is averaging 8.4 points per game this season. He was in and out of Miami's rotation. 6. Marcin Gortat. Gortat was another casualty by the rebuilding Clippers. The big man was waived on Thursday as the Clippers made several moves, including waiving Milos Teodosic and trading Avery Bradley, on top of their Tobias Harris trade earlier in the week. Gortat often started at center for the Clippers, but he only averaged 16 minutes per game. The veteran averaged 5.0 points and 5.6 rebounds per game with the Clippers. He reportedly has interest in joining the Warriors, but it's unclear if the interest is mutual. 7. Frank Kaminsky. The Charlotte Hornets were looking to trade Kaminsky prior to the deadline but did not find any takers, and now he's expected to seek a buyout, according to a report. Kaminsky has been buried by the Hornets behind Cody Zeller, Willie Hernangomez and Bismack Biyombo and has only played in 24 games this season, a huge drop-off from the regular action he saw his first 3 seasons with the team. His field goal percentage is at 48.5% this season, a huge boost from the 41.5% mark he's averaged during his career. 8. Zach Randolph-Zebo never really had a spot on the young Sacramento Kings this season, though he was their highest-paid player at $12 million. He was sent to Dallas to match salaries in the Harrison Barnes trade, but the Mavs are expected to waive him. That will make Randolph available to join a new team. The 37-year-old's best days are definitely behind him, but he was still able to average 14.5 points and 6.7 rebounds for Sacramento a season ago. 9. Pau Gasol. The Spurs were said to be trying to trade Gasol prior to the deadline, but nothing materialized on that front. That does not mean he will remain in San Antonio. Pau could be on the move just like his brother and end up with a new team. Gasol missed time with a stress fracture in his foot this season, though he returned just before the new year. He is mostly a player off the bench and has only averaged 12.7 minutes per game when he's played. Only $6.7 million of his $16 million salary for next season is guaranteed. His buyout would likely be costly for San Antonio. 10. Markieff Morris. Markieff is an intriguing player. He is out with a neck injury and still has not been cleared for contact, though he was hoping that would happen this month. He was traded by the Wizards to the Pelicans as part of a salary dump to get under the luxury tax. Keefe averaged 11.5 points and 5.1 rebounds per game this season, though he hasn't played since late December. He's a good player, but his availability will be the big question for teams looking to add him. Other players who could be moved: Greg Monroe, Milos Teodosic, Ben McLemore, Junior Smith, Pau Gasol, Nick Stauskas.